Okay. So today we will see a type of graph problem called the traveling salesman problem. Like if you know, all the graph problems are more or less similar. They are aiming to find a path and trying to find out what is the minimum cost, right? So how traveling salesman is a little different than the other problems is in a very slight way. Okay, so let's look what is a traveling salesman problem. So it's about a salesman, okay, who wants to make a tour. Okay, so he's a salesman, so he'll start at some position, and his intention is he wants to make a tour visiting all other places. So these vertices are nothing but places. So he wants to start at place 1 and say visit place 2, place 4, place 3, and then come back to the starting position. So that is the problem statement. So there's a salesman who wants to make a tour. He'll start at some place, okay, start at some vertex or a place. He'll visit all other vertices, okay, all other places, and then he has to return back to the starting point. Maybe one other point I'll add here is, while visiting all of these vertices, you should not repeat any place. So it is visit all other vertices, including without repeating or revisiting, without revisiting vertices or places. Places again. Right? That means if you go from, basically what it means, you start at some starting position, either 1 or say I can, let's start from 1. You go to 2, you have to go to 3, you have to go to 4, and then you have to come back to 1. Okay. So here, if you see, there are many possible combinations. You can go to 2 also. So instead of 2, you can go to 3 also. Right. But again, I say I go to 4, and then I cannot come back to 3 and then go to 2 and then go to 1. This is wrong, right? Because I'm visiting the already visited vertex, I'm repeating it. So this is wrong. And say if I go to 3, 4, and then come back to 1, this is also wrong, right? Because I have not visited, vertex number 2 is not visited. Okay. So in this itself, we have a lot of combinations. So the aim is to find the optimal solution, right? The overall cost of the tour should be minimum. Okay. Now, if you want to solve this problem, we can do a brute force way. Brute force way means like, remember we did the graph in a depth first manner, right? We can try to do that. So let's do that and try to understand how to solve it. Then we will come back to dynamic programming. Okay. So here also I've shown an example that you start from 1, go to 3, 2, 4, and come back to 1, right? So every time, every edge has a cost, right? You go from 1 to 3, it has a cost of, 1 to 3, it has a cost of 6. Then you go from 3 to 2, it has a cost of 5. You go from 2 to 4, it has a cost of 10. And come back from 4 to 1, it has a cost of 4. One other point, this traveling salesman, you can apply to undirected graph or directed graph. Okay. In your textbook, there are 2 examples. This is example number 1, which is undirected. There's another example which is directed. Okay. So here, this is the cost. Okay. So I'll show one way of solving this, which is like a brute force way, but this is not dynamic way. Okay. If somebody asks you to solve traveling salesman via dynamic programming, this is not how you solve it. Okay. This is not dynamic programming. So please be clear with that. This is more like a graph approach. So what did we say? We said, okay, you start with 1. Okay. You have how many possible combinations are there? You can go either to 2, 3, or 4, right? And if you go to 2, this is more like, remember, red, blue, green graph. Red, blue, green graph. We said graph coloring we did, right? Or sum of subsets or n-queens problem. It is same like that. In graph coloring also, we said, okay, you use one color, you should not repeat the color, right? This is same like that. So when you start with 1, you have 3 possible combinations. then if you pick 2, you can either go to 3 or 4. These are the only 2 combinations. Like I cannot write one more combination here as say 2. This is wrong, right? Because 2 is already visited. Right? And if you take 3, what is the last combination left? You have visited 1, 2, 3. So only possible combination for you is 4, right? And from there, you will come back to 1, right? Just look at this also. So from 4, what is the only possible combination for you? 3, right? Is this clear? Is this clear? You have 50, okay? You can put an adjacency matrix with that, but just to tell you the problem, say you start with 1 in a traveling salesman problem. You have from 1, you have 3 choices, right? You can go to 2, you can go to 3 or 4, right? But if you choose 2, you have only 2 choices because you're not supposed to repeat the vertices, right? So you have a choice of going to 3 or 4, right? If you choose 3, you have only 2 choices. You can either go to 2 or 4. And if you choose 4, you have only 2 choices. You can go to 2 or 3. That's it, right? Now, if you choose this one, you are left with only 1 choice because other than that, it will repeat, right? So here also you have only 1 choice. This is 1, 3, 4. You're left with only 2. Here it is 1, 4, 2. You're left with only 1, 3. Right? This is what I mean by only choice that you have. You can put down the cost for each of these vertices. Okay. And when you come down, right, this is your last, this is the last possible combination you have. And from there, your cost should also include going back to 1 because that's what the path is, right? You start with 1, you visit all the vertices, and then you go back to 1. So if you have so many alternate paths, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways of doing this. And if you ultimately calculate the cost of this, right? So this path, if you take, cost will be 30 plus 5 plus 20 plus 4, which is 59. This cost will be all of these edges, which is 66, right? So you do all of this, you get some cost. And we realize that out of this, 25 is the minimum. And you see you have 225. So there are 2 possible, 2 optimal solutions for this problem, right? So if you pick this 25, you can come up with the path. The path is what? 1 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 1. And if you pick this 25, your path is 1 to 4, 4 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 1. Both are okay. Both are possible. And both give you the cost of 25 only. Okay. So this is the graph way of solving the problem. Okay. Now let us see how we can do using dynamic programming. Now, dynamic programming, if you have seen the other pattern of the problems which we did, right, like multi-stage or also shortest path Floyd's algorithm, in all of that, we had basically you have to come up with one formula, right? And you, as you do step by step, right, you use the values that you computed in the previous step, right? This is the pattern for dynamic programming. You're supposed to reuse the solution that you got in your previous step, right? So here we need to come up with a formula. Okay, I'll show the formula at the end, but let's see step by step how you can do. Okay, so in dynamic programming, we will visualize this graph from reverse. Okay, say suppose we will say, okay, what is the cost of doing this? Then how do you come up with a formula from here to here? How do you come up with the formula from here to here? And finally, how do you come up with the formula from here to here? So we'll do 4 steps. And finally, you can summarize all these 4 steps and come up with a generic formula. Okay. So let's do that step 1. So in step 1, there is something called a set. Okay. This is nothing but your solution. Okay. How many vertices are there in your solution? And when you put like these vertical lines, it means the size. Okay. It is not referring to what is in the set. It is just saying how many elements are in this set. Okay. So currently you have not picked any solution. So your set is 0. Okay. So what it means is this is the formula. Okay. You have some G of something. Okay. This is your formula. So we'll do with step number 1. So step number 1 is this one, right? So what it means is this is the last step, after which you know that you have to go back to 1, right? So what you do is you try the combinations. Your set size is 0, okay? And these are your different vertices. So you can have combination of 2 going to 1, 3 going to 1, and 4 going to 1 without visiting any other vertex. This is like a direct. When you say 0, size is 0 means in your solution, you don't have any other vertex to visit. It's a direct edge with which you will be able to reach 1. That's what it means, okay? So if you look at this, there are only 3 combinations here, right? From how do you reach 1? You can reach either from 3, or you can reach from 2, or you can reach from 4. So that's what we have done here. You can do 3 to 1, or 2 to 1, or 3 to 1, or 4 to 1. Okay. So that's the direct cost you have, right? 3 to 1. This is the direct edge. This, you know, the cost. This you got it from, you can build up an adjacency matrix, or here, because I have this graph, right? I'm just looking at this and doing it. Okay. You know the direct cost going from 2 to 1, it is 30. You know the cost of going from 3 to 1, which is 6, and 4 to 1 is 4, right? So this is step number 1, very straightforward, because you're doing the last step. You know that always you have to go with the direct edge. So there's nothing great here, right? Now, if you come a little up, right? You come one step up, right? So what this means you are trying to check the vertex through which you will be visiting 1, but having at least 1 vertex in between. That's what it means. Now, your size is 1 means to visit 1, to come to 1, you have to go through one other node, right? You have to go through one other node. So how do you write? Just look at this graph and you can write the formula, right? So you have combinations. You have 2, 3, or 4. These are the choices you have, right? Now, you can go from 2 to 1 via 3, or you can go from 4. These are the 2 options you have. You remember here? Okay. You have 2 choices with 4. You can go 2 to 1. Okay, this is what we are looking at. How do you go 2 to 1? Visiting, keeping 1 vertex in between, you have 2 choices, either 4 or 3. That's what you're writing in this formula here. Right? So first, let us understand how you write this formula, then we can expand it and check. Okay. So the formula says the vertex that you want to reach 1, and in between what you will go, right? If you look at this, why did we write 0? Because in between there is nothing. That is why it is 0. But now we have to take in between 1 vertex, right? So these are the possible combinations you have, right? You take vertex 2, you can reach 1 via 3, or you can reach 1 via 4. Or you take vertex number 3, you can go to 1 via 4, or you can go to 1 via 2, right? You can go to 1 via 2. Same thing here. You have 4, you can go via 2 or 3. These are the only choices you have. Okay. So how do you expand this? So you know that you have to go from 2 to 3, which is your direct edge. And from 3 to 1 is previously computed. You don't have to worry about this. This is where dynamic programming uses the previously calculated method, right? So we know 2 to 3, but 3 to 1, we don't have to compute. We have already done this in the previous formula. So what is 2 to 3? 2 to 3, we know it is 5. Right? 2 to 3, we know it is 5. But what is the cost of going from 3 to 1? We don't have to look at this graph or adjacency matrix. You just go up. You would have solved this here. Right? You know 3 to 0 is 6. Right? Now we are reusing the formula. Remember, even in that multi-stage graph also, or even in Floyd's algorithm also, we were reusing what was done in the previous step. Same thing here. Okay, 2 to 4. You go direct cost from 2 to 4, and from 4 to 1, you reuse the formula. Same thing, you expand here. 3 to 2 direct edge, the rest is the formula. 3 to 4 direct edge, rest is the formula. Okay. And all of this, you can go up in the previous step and get the values. So 3, 0, 4, 0, 2, 0. You have already done this here. Right? I'm just replacing these values down. right? These are not computed. These are there from the previous step, right? So you have these many combinations. So finally you get these many values, okay? And the formula says pick the minimum. So this is also part of your formula. So basically what dynamic programming does is it will explore all the possible choices and pick the minimum in that choice, right? So here we know we explored all the possible choices and the minimum here is 11. So just highlight that and keep it, okay? So this step is clear. When sizes, what do you mean by S equals 1 and how did we get these combinations? Is this clear? So let's go to the next step, right? What is next step? Here your size is 2. What does this mean? You have to visit 1, but in between you have 2 other vertices whom you are supposed to keep. Like basically you have to visit 2 other vertices before reaching 1. So in your graph, if you see, this is a 3 little up picture I have taken, right? So you know that you have to visit 1, okay? You have to start here, you have to visit 1. Right? And you have to keep 2 vertices in between. So you have these many combinations, right? So let us write down those combinations. Now, how do you write down in the same formula? Now the formula says, these are your vertices, right? You have 3 combinations. You have either 2, 3, or 4, right? Here we know we saw this. Let me minimize this. Right. Right. You know that you have 3 combinations, 2, 3, or 4. That is this one. Okay, then this is what vertex you will choose in between, because we have to choose 2 vertices, right? So if you pick 2, your only other choice is 3 or 4. That's what this means, right? And if you pick 3, your only other choice is 2 or 4. Remember, you should not repeat the vertex. That's why these are the only 2 choices you have. And if you pick 4, your only choice is 2 or 3, right? So how do you expand this formula? So I said 2 to 3 is a direct edge, right? And this one, you will write it like a formula. So here, now you don't have to compute this. You will be using this formula. Okay. What this means, it says you have to go 3 to 1 via some vertex. That's what it means, right? So other way of looking at it is, here your set is having 2. You should reduce such that your set has only 1. So that way you can reuse what you did in the previous step. Okay. So this is one combination. Okay. You have one more combination, right? The other combination is you can go 2 to 4, direct edge, and from there pick whatever you did earlier. Right? If for you just looking at this and writing this is difficult, you take a look at this graph. It'll be easy for you. So this step, how do you write? You pick 2, you have 2 choices, 3 or 4. This you know how to do. How do you expand this? You go 2 to 3 directly. Okay. From here on, use the previous formula. Right. So how do you write that? G of 3, okay, comma 4. That's how you write it. Same thing, how do you expand this? 2 to 4 is a direct edge, right? But from here, use the previous formula. So 2 to 4 is a direct edge. From here, from 4 in bracket 3 is your previous formula. So this again, these are direct edges cost, you know, this also, you know, 10. This one, we will look up. This you have already solved. G of 3, comma 4, you have already solved, right? The value of this was 24. Same thing here. G of 4, comma 3, you have already solved, right? Okay, let's solve this one and see. So you have 2 choices, 3 to 2, and a formula, or 3 to 4, direct edge, and a formula. So the same, these are the direct edges. This one, you have to look up. What is this? 2, comma 4. You have done this here, right? So it is 14. That's how you pick it up. Okay. And finally, when you do this third choice, right, you have to solve this also. This third set also you have to solve. So how do you do that? 4 to 2, direct edge. And from 2, you use the formula. Go via one vertex in middle and reach one. That's what it means. And similarly, 4 to 3. And then go via one other vertex to reach one. It's the same formula substitution if you do. This is the direct edge cuts. This is the previous formula, what you have done, right? So when you solve this, in all these cases, right? So how many paths you have? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So you have 6, but at each of this, you have to pick the minimum. So here you have two choices. You pick whichever is minimum, right? So here for B, out of these two, minimum is 29. Right? Minimum is 29. And out of these two, right, here minimum was 19. And out of these two, minimum is 21, right? But to solve this complete problem, this again is a minimum, right? Out of these three choice, you have to pick only one, right? So here again, you have to check which one is minimum. So that's why you do a minimum of all of three. So you have three values. Sorry, what was this? I think this was 29, right? So you have 29, 19, and 21. So the minimum is 29, 19, and 21. So this is your minimum, right? So just highlight that. Highlight this in some color and keep it. Okay. So we are done with third step. And finally, we go to the fourth step. So here you see, I have gone one step up in the graph. So this is your fourth step. So what does this mean? Your S size is now 3. That means you have to visit 3 vertices before reaching 1. That's what it means. Now you should take a look where you visit 3 vertex in middle, right? So what are the choices you have? You have only one choice. You have to go from vertex. You don't have any other choice here, right? And here you have a combination of, you can pick any of these 3, right? So how do you expand this? Same thing. You go from 1 to 2, and from there, use the formula. So you go 1 to 2. From here, you don't compute, okay? You go ahead and use the formula. You have same 1 to 3, and then go ahead and use the formula. And same thing, 1 to 4. And for this one, don't compute. You finished computing for this, right? In the previous step. So just use that formula, right? So if you take this cost, 1 to 2 direct 130, this one, 2, 3, 4. If you look up 2, 3, 4, you have already solved this, right? And you know the minimum cost was 29 here. That is why I put 20. This also, this is direct cost 6, but this one is your previous value. And this is direct cost. This is your previous computed value, right? Now you need to find the minimum among this. So you have 25 as minimum, but you have 2 choices, right? So we are done. We have computed, we have gone till the vertex number 1, and we have completed all the steps, right? So you know the minimum cost. So last part, what is left is find the path. So how do you find the path? This. So how do you find the path? Just go back and go, whatever you had highlighted, right, in the coloring, using that you can get your path. So just go up. What was your first path? Right? You have 2 choices. Let's pick the first choice here, this one, and see what path you will get if you pick this one, right? So this is your second value here. That means it's talking about this, right? So you're saying 1 to 3. Okay. How do I note it down? Here, 1 to 3. Okay. Then look at this. Go up and look at how did you get this path, right? So go up 3, 2, 4. So here, right? 3, 2, 4. How did you choose? You got this. So that is why coloring is important. How did you pick the minimum? You need to highlight and keep it. So here, you know, you went to 3 to 2. Right? So from here, you went 3 to 2. Okay. So from there, how did you know? You have to go back and look at this. 2, 4. Right? 2, 4 is this one. Right? It says 2 to 4. right? 2 to 4. And finally, you have to come back to the same vertex, right? This is how you find the path. There is another alternate way because the cost is the same. Let's see how to build the path for this. This is your third one here, right? Out of these three choices, this is the third one. So it says 1 to 4. Okay. Then go up and see how did you get this 4, 2, 3. Yeah, 4, 2, 3. In this, which was the minimum? This one, right? So you should check this minimum path only, you should check. So from there, go to 2. So from 4, go to 2. Right? And right? And from there, 2, 3. 2, 3 is 2 to 3. Right? 2 to 3. And from there, it is 1. Okay. This is how we solve it. And one last thing. Now I can tell you what is the generic formula. Because if I would have told you this formula before, it is very hard for you to understand, right? Now that we have done these steps, right? Now we can understand what this formula means, right? Like it says, there is a formula of going from vertex I using the set, right? So what it means is I have to go from I to 1, okay? Passing through whatever is in the set, right? That's what this means, right? So how do you get that? You have to go from I to some vertex j in the set, right? So you have to go from I to j. This is the edge, right? And from j, use the formula. Right? So what is the formula? You have to, so I to say, suppose j is one of this in the set, right? So you go from I to j, and from j, use the formula so that you go to 1, right? So how do you do this? You have to visit all other vertices in the set except for what you have selected, right? Like for example, at this point, your set has 3, right? In this, you have picked 1 as your j, right? So next you are left with only 2 other choices, right? That is why you're removing from the set, you minus this j because that's what you have already picked, and apply the formula, same formula again. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let me tell you once again. Say, for example, if you want to go from, say, 1 to 2, 2, 3 to 4, right? How do you apply this? This says from 1, pick anything in your set. Okay, so in my set, say currently there are 3 numbers, 2, 3, 4. Right? That's what the set says. So what is the value for this? The value for this is you try from I to j. Say suppose you try from I to j, plus you have to reuse the formula from 2. You reuse the formula again, right? So I will do 2, and the formula is other than 2, what is left in this? So it will be 3, 4, right? So I have to go through 3 vertex, but I split the formula such that I reduce it, and then I say, what is the cost of going to 2 vertex, right? And if you look at this, this is your S, this is your I, right? You pick anything in this J, right? Whatever you pick here, this is nothing but S minus J, right? Is this clear? And this may sound a little confusing. So if you apply this 3 steps, right, finally you will be able to understand what this formula is actually saying. Okay. So that's all about traveling salesman problem.